Hi, my name is Victoria Leone, and I did my presentation on serial killers. About serial killers. By general definition, it's a person who commits a series of murders, often with no apparent motive and typically following a characteristic behavior pattern. Many serial killers leave a signature move. They either put glasses on each of the people they kill, or take their watches, or steal money. They always have a pattern. The narrow definition of a serial killer over the past 30 years differs on these specific requirements. It's the number of murders involved, the type of motivation, and the temporal aspects of the murders. Above average, they're intelligent people, they're extremely smart, and in some ways, the killing acts as a drug to them. They are addicted to doing it. That's why they do multiples instead of just one. The reasons why. Mothers are often a key role of serial killers, the relationship between the mother and child, either him or her. It depends on the mother's state. A lot of mothers of serial killers had mental illnesses, they're depressed, they have anxiety, or some kind of mental illness that causes them to take medicine, and it affects the children from infancy to all the way to adulthood, from childhood, teenager, all the way to adulthood. And this is what causes typically all the serial killers to start killing. There's no adequate attention. There's no physical touch. There is abusive touch sometimes, but there's no physical touch. There's no loving. There's no I love you kiss. There's no hug. Bullying plays a big role. Weight problems, stutters, learning disabilities like dyslexia or any of that causes them to get made fun of, and it builds up this anger and aggression towards other people. Isolation. Many serial killers were isolated from their peers as children. They were not allowed to hang out with friends. They had to be in the room by themselves. And they have absence of emotions. They have no sympathy. They have no remorse or affection. The mind of a serial killer. Typically, there's underdevelopment in the brain, which is a little crazy because you know that they're over-intelligent, but there's one part of their brain that doesn't make them any less smart, but it affects the way they look at things or how the buildup of anger or anything like that. Psychotic breaks, they often experience schizophrenia, lack of activity in the prefrontal cortex, and they have no impulsive control, and they have lack of cognitive development. Parents of serial killers. These are all acts a parent would show their children who turned out to be a serial killer. So these are all examples that parents did to their kids who... sexual abuse. Sexual abuse to a child by a parent or grandparent can greatly affect the delusions and the criminal activity performed by the child later on. Shaming. For a boy, a mother shaming him at a young age and embarrassing him can result to him being overly aggressive and sometimes to the point of murder later in life. That anger and aggression just builds up and builds up and builds up, and he wants to get back at someone. Abandonment. A child being abandoned by his or her parents at a young age makes them feel not good enough. So they'll spend the rest of their life making sure that they don't deserve good. That they will do anything to prove that they don't. That that's all they've been shown, and they want to show that in return, that they don't deserve good. Inappropriate contact between the mother and child. Many parents of serial killers actually took drugs or pills while being pregnant, and that's in a result why serial killers have the mindset that they do. For example, Jeffrey Dahmer's mother, she took on average 27 different pills a day, and I think that had a huge role into how Jeffrey Dahmer's brain actually worked. Here's a few more. Embarrassment and expectation. Embarrassment. Some parents actually get satisfaction out of embarrassing their children. But the children just suffer from it mentally. They have that anger, aggression, they have fear. And as they get older, that fear turns into they want someone else to fear them. Expectation. Many parents expect their kids to be one way, even knowing they can't. This shames their children on purpose, that some parents just have that mental state, that mental illness, For example, there is actually a serial killer who had a congenital heart defect, and he could not play sports, but his father knew that and shamed him every day. Made him feel like he wasn't good enough, he was shameful of him, betrayed him. These are some traits of serial killers. Schizophrenia, lack of remorse or guilt, need for control, impulsivity, sensation seeking, alcohol and drug abuse, stressful sexual events in infancy and in childhood or childhood, loneliness, fantasies and physical injuries. Those physical injuries sometimes are traumatic, and that's what causes their brain to stay the way they do. Females versus males. Believe it or not, there are female serial killers. Not as many as males, but there are some, and it would shock you how many there are. Female serial killers tend to kill for money or power. Females, when they kill, they gather, and then when men kill, they hunt. Women would kill for resources, while men typically kill for sex. Females would typically kill over hatred or emotions, and male serial killers kill for the want and need of domination, control, humiliation, and sadistic sexual violence. Males tend to always involve sex, and 90% of serial killers are males, believe it or not. And why kill more than one person? They're chasing a sensation. They're trying to fill a void. They're ignoring their past of sexual abuse or physical abuse, abandonment, isolation, expectations, shaming. They're ignoring their past, but they feel a certain way, but they're ignoring it mentally. Deflecting their anger, sexual release, psychotic break relief, general satisfaction, and sense of purpose and accomplishment. Unfortunately, they get this satisfaction from knowing that they killed someone else based off of how they were treated in their past. And my last slide goes to average number of kills before caught. Not much information, but I thought this was extremely interesting. As of September 2016, the FBI database had information on 4,743 serial killers and 13,105 victims of those serial killers. On average, from those 4,000 serial killers, that's 3 victims they would kill before they were caught. So 13,000 people total. 2 or more kills that are in different events actually makes someone a serial killer. And it's my We're Excited page. Thank you.